Hey everybody, Tony with Cardboard Wars, back with the second part of the third Narvik turn. This is the Allies and the Norwegians' chance to get their reinforcements and do separate things. In this area, the Norwegians need to figure out what they need to do, and they're likely going to pull out to the east. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. At Bergen, the Norwegians are likely going to counterattack because the Germans are out of supply and in real trouble there. As during the first half of the turn, I was unable to get supply in there. Then here at Namsos, the British, who can finally move this turn, are going to be advancing towards Trondheim. And I have been having some real problems with stuff disappearing, and I'm trying to figure out why it disappears. There's supposed to be a railhead marker here. This rail line exists and can be used. So up here, far to the north at Narvik, the first of the Allied forces are arriving at Harstad. They cannot move this turn, but once there's another French mountain regiment that will arrive that will be instrumental in driving the Germans out of Narvik. At Namsos, there are going to be several more units arriving, the 146th British Infantry Brigade, and several Marines and Royal Navy forces that are going to be coming in and taking control of Namsos as the British move out towards Trondheim to establish a front there. But first thing that we're going to do is we're going to, we got to do the Norwegian mobilization. And this is turn 3, so we'll be using this row here. So Norwegian mobilization, we get 2 battalions, or excuse me, we go 2 over 1, 2, so we're starting at the 13th, we get another 7 battalions. So the 13th mobilization center up near Trondheim, just outside of Trondheim. 12. So they don't have much left, but now the 13th is now completely mobilized. The first, composition. First, the Germans control that. The 7th, the Germans control. And when the Germans control one, I try to get rid of the weaker battalions first. So just in case they manage to capture it. Then the 11th at Andalsnes. I'll take the 1, 2, 4. The 3rd. I believe that the Germans control the 3rd. Yes. The Germans control the third. Oops, that in the wrong place. The third. The 8th, the Germans control. And finally, the 16th to the far north is already completely mobilized. So out of all of that, the Norwegians get 2 battalions. So the Norwegians need to start backtracking in order to try and build a defensive front. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will start moving along here, giving up the 4th mobilization center along the way. Because in the end, I don't want to leave any of the Norwegians just out there on a line. Actually, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to move him back to Hamar just to cover this crossing. Because I know that when I come back to the Germans, I'd be looking at that going, oh, wait a second, I can get across here. This unit here is going to sea lift. Well, no, can't. Here's no place that they can go because the Germans captured Egersund. Well, there it is. So, 1, 3, 4. Do I really want to do that? No, I don't want to do that because it's going to be, well, you got the 9-4 German regiments on the way, so that's 1821 to 4, so that's over 5 to 1. So let's just abandon Egersund, or Kristiansand rather. And then here, they're going to move in and attack Bergen at 3 to 1. Because the Germans, they only have 1 defense point. 3, 4, oh, 6 to 1. No, 3 to 1 because they have 1 defense point each. And meanwhile, we're gonna have the Andalsness is taken care of. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're going to move over there and block them off. We're going to put in the Marines. We're going to put 2 more points at AA. And the 146. That's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 9. We're going to swing these gentlemen to the south. So the 5th, what does the 5th currently have in it? 5th currently has 2 units in it. I'm going to bring them down. We're going to start moving to we're going to start moving them around to try and reinforce this, and maybe possibly move down here ultimately to block the rail lines. I did forget to remove that because that goes away. Back into there, since he did not come down. So for me, it is more important to try to block this line to Trondheim. The 4th will eventually fall, even if I had troops there. But I want to keep the HMKG battalion ready to go, ready to pull out anytime that they may be attacked, especially if they're attacked in overwhelming numbers. But they actually have pretty good defense there. The Germans, on the other hand, they need to gather up their strength and start getting some of their regiments put back together. The ones that can, anyway. Unfortunately, there was a 14-4 that was messed up last turn, but there's another 14-4 on the way, and I'm sure that the dice will be able to sniff that out. So there's not really a lot of attacking that the Norwegians can do because they really don't pack a lot of offensive punch. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to move up there to prevent any sort of amphibious landing. This unit cannot move. We still got the 1, 2, 3. Does the 7th Brigade have anything in it yet? Yes, 7th Brigade is full. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Actually, they're going to head back to Tromsø, just to try to keep the Germans honest, even though it's very difficult for the Germans to get anything up there. The Furious is still out here at sea, and I completely forgot about them during the last turn. Although they really don't have the range to really impact anything. They have 2 swordfish, what is referred to as attack bombers, basically small bombers, light bombers. So 2, 3, 6, 3 to 1. We're going to go ahead and we're going to choose to attack there at Bergen. It's one of the few attacks that I feel that the Norwegians can make, and it looks like that is rough terrain, and rough terrain has no effect on combat. So let's give it a roll and see how the Norwegians do. 3, 1, 4. Defend a retreat. Well, fortunately for the Germans, there is a way out as they are forced to retreat. but they are still out of supply. But now the Norwegians have recaptured one of the main targets. They'll be able to hold it for a few turns because I won't be able to amass the forces necessary to force them out. Actually, let us recapture that. But these forces also won't be going anywhere. I mean, honestly, they could. I mean, they can get around here, but it takes quite a bit of movement because it's 2 movement points to cross each one of these narrow hex sides. So that is really pretty much it for the Allied turn. In most cases, with the exception of Oslo, I do not believe in defending to the death. For me, the Allied strategy, at least in southern Norway, is just to get in the way, cause as much havoc as possible. If you find an opportunity to, for example, move to where there is a supply depot just sitting by itself and you can slip in there and destroy it, do it. You know, it's basically all guerrilla warfare. And these units, they're just going to do their best to slow the German advance down to Trondheim until such time as I can figure out a way for the Germans to deal with this. Well, there is a way for me to deal with it. I'm going to have to shut that airbase down, and in order to prevent that, the Allies are going to have to fly interception. So that one could become very interesting. I'm hoping that as a German player, I'm hoping that the Germans don't lose too many bombers. But that airbase has to be shut down. And then I need to find more of the 181st Division and get the headquarters over here so that I can start assembling the division and then be able to take those out, take Bergen back. So that's pretty much it for now. I got the last video down substantially. I didn't quite meet my 30-minute mark that I was aiming for, but I think that I streamlined it quite a bit, and I'm hoping to keep it streamlined going forward. If I don't post anything, I'm still working on the game, and I'm trying to figure out why some of the changes that I have been making have been disappearing. So anyway, I will try to keep this updated as quickly as I can. Take care, everybody.